Hello everyone and welcome back to Send It's Weather channel. Today we're going to be looking at the latest from the models. We're going to be doing our 10 to 14 day forecast very briefly because today we're going to be focusing on the storms which may be affecting the UK around Thursday, Friday time. Now we'll have a look at all of the main models and see what they're all saying and I'll basically give you what I honestly think. Now obviously we'll keep going through this over the next couple of days, but just to give you an idea, we'll run through it today and see what the models are showing because they have slightly shifted from what I've seen yesterday. Now I did just want to say thank you to everyone that checked out yesterday's video and premiere. Nice to see that so many of you joined at such short notice. We will be experimenting with them further and obviously I'll schedule them properly and stuff, but cheers to everyone that joined. So yeah, we're going to go for everything today. We're going to start with the UK Met Office run and yeah, we're just going to see what it shows. Now remember, the reason that this pattern change is occurring is because of the cold snap in America, which is basically powering up the jet stream, carrying these low pressure systems along the jet and powering them up and sending them straight to the UK because the UK kind of always sits on the jet stream. So around Thursday into Friday, you can see a little bit of a cooler ridge moves in, and then into Friday is this massive storm, which the models are messing around with. This probably would be named. This probably will be named depending on where it hits. But the most likely place to hit is the west and the northwest, and it's parts of northwestern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. So we've got the UK Met Office here, firstly. And as you can see, the storm moves in, and it is a 940 millibar area of low pressure. Deep area of low pressure, very deep area of low pressure. And as you can see, the winds surrounding the low are tightly packed, which suggests some very strong winds. Now, this is slightly different to some of the other models that we've looked at, but 940 millibars is a very deep area of low pressure. You would expect winds to be, in essence, around 60, 70, 80 miles an hour with this, and in some exposed locations, such as the northwestern routes and the Northern Ireland routes, or coastal areas, could be very strong winds. If we have a look at the UK Met run here, and then we go to the UK, and we go on that one, and we look at the wind gusts, you can see where the winds are, and as you can see, 70 to 80 miles per hour winds, which is quite severe, and probably would be named, probably would be a named storm for parts of northwestern Scotland and Northern Ireland with this. Now, what I will say is there's a lot of uncertainty with the position of this low, exact positioning, but it's something to be ironed out. Quite windy. It kind of is more focused in the west with the UK Met. It is slightly further northwards than some of the other models have it positioned. So that's something to watch out for. And obviously with this system there'll be a lot of rain, maybe even some snow over the high ground before it turns back to rain, as milder conditions sink back in from the Atlantic. Now, if we have a look then and we go back to the chart, then we'll just see for the rest of the run, as that storm clears away, we continue in a mild southwesterly wind with enough areas of low pressure ridging in from off the Atlantic, and that this secondary low looks like it's about to go and affect northwest Scotland there, northern Scotland there. So yeah, that's the UK Met, so unsettled and stormy. Now, if we have a look at the icon by comparison, so the next few days are going to be a little bit chilly, patchy frost and fog at times, but not particularly cold for the time of year. Icon takes the low on a completely different track, does not deepen the low as much, and takes it in mostly affecting northwestern Scotland there, with some very tightly packed isobars for Scotland there. 950 millibar area of low pressure, but does kind of take it further northwards on a northeast alignment, and kind of takes it away very quickly. But it's a very vigorous low. It's a very vigorous low there. And that is something to watch out for. If we go to the icon, there we go. And we go to the UK and wind gusts there. Then you can see, then there's some very strong winds in the northwest there. In excess of 110 miles per hour just off the northwestern coast of Scotland there in Northern Ireland, which is ridiculous. That would be damaging. Probably would be a red warning with that one, but probably would not be not be as vigorous as that with the low. It's so tightly packed with the icon that it's quite suspicious to see such a run like that. We'll move on to the. Well, actually, we'll run through the rest of it. So it continues this west-southwesterly theme, very mild and unsettled around Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Another little deep area of another little low zipping through along the jet stream, bringing in some more wet weather before we're just in a general southwesterly wind. Driest in the south and the east, wettest in the north and the west is the main theme. The GFS next, then, which has been going for some very deep area of low pressure. Is slightly different and kind of brings the risk of the low further southwards compared to the Icon, for example. Here you'd see lots of rain for many regions in the north, Northern England, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Northern Scotland, Northwest Scotland. The only part avoiding this would be the south. You'd expect lots of rain, torrential rain, maybe even hail, and very strong winds with this one. Just the tightness of the low there before it eventually moves away, but that is a very 958 millibar area of low pressure. Looks a little bit less severe than yesterday's runs, which were crazy. If we have a look at the wind gusts with this one, it's still 70 to 80 miles per hour winds mixed in there. Even getting further inland with these winds because it's slightly further south, 70 to 80 miles an hour is still pretty bad. Now, if we continue, the rest of the GFS keeps it unsettled and stormy with low pressure systems rattling in off the Atlantic, kind of sticking close to the polar vortex though. But we remain in a very strong southwesterly wind, keeping it very mild, wet and windy. Another low around the 1st of Feb. Sinking a little bit of colder air surface, so it's a long way out, but it still looks very zonal, very mild, wet and windy. The GEM next then is very similar, with low pressures rattling in. Again with this low on Friday, slightly further northwards, actually much further northwards, only really affecting northwest Scotland. Many parts of the north will be windy at least on this day, and obviously the tight packed air surface means a lot of rain, wind, and possibly even snow over the higher ground, but unlikely, as the upper temps are quite mild with this. But just something to watch out for. The GM though brings in another storm around Monday the 27th, which is 945 millibar area of low pressure, for another low zips through on Wednesday the 29th, which is most of these are affecting the north, as you'll notice. This storm on Friday does still need to be monitored though, because there is still quite a little bit of uncertainty. It's extending from between Iceland and Scotland to as far south as central Britain with the positioning and track of this low, I would say. Obviously it could track southwards, but that is looking unlikely at the moment. The most common track, I did want to note if anyone was interested, because some people might mention this, is that typically these lows travel sort of in this direction, so between Scotland and Iceland, and they kind of just go up towards Norway and the Scandinavian regions, they clear northwards, but that's just something to watch out for. As you can see, that low there on with the GM does do that track I mentioned, where it goes northwards towards Scandinavia. So does that low, so that's a typical trend, but it can deviate sometimes. That is the most likely trend though of this low. If we have a look at the winds with the GM then, there we go, and we can see it's not as windy with the GM, but still pretty windy. 60 miles an hour in the west. There, 70 miles an hour just off the chart. The GM probably is underdoing it. I would say probably would be a little bit stronger than that, but obviously that's something to be nailed out. Nothing can be ruled out at this stage. But what I would like to say, so we've run through everything very quickly, and I hope that I've explained everything well enough. We have the UKV as well, but that's not in range yet. That's showing wind gusts 70, 80 miles an hour off of the southwest coast there on Friday morning. Pretty windy, and the storm's not even moved in yet. What I will say though is this storm is definitely going to affect the UK in some way, shape or form. Most likely to affect the north and the west. Wind gusts in excess of 70, 80, maybe even 90 miles an hour are definitely possible. Possibly more, possibly less, a little bit, but not much deviation between that. The exact positioning needs to be nailed on, and we'll work that out through the next couple of days, and I'll keep updating everyone on that with my live streams and my videos, so keep checking out the channel. And yeah, that's it. So, what do I think? I think it will affect potentially the north and the west quite badly. There will be damaging winds. There will be wind warnings and rain warnings. Didn't mention rain, but there will be lots of rain around, you'd expect. Possibly even snow over the high ground, but unlikely. But that's it, yeah. So, thank you all for watching this Send It's Weather Channel video. If you enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe for more awesome videos from me if you find it informative. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 900 and something, which is crazy. So subscribe if you're new and like the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.